Hey there, good looking. Listen, tight hamstrings can really inhibit your day-to-day activities, your mobility, even cause low back pain. In this video, we are solely stretching the hamstrings with a couple of exercises that you've probably never tried before, because simply just stretching the hamstrings isn't actually what's going to give us a length in the hamstrings. And I'll show you today how we can do that. Now, you need some tools for this workout: a chair, a tennis ball or lacrosse ball if you really want to be evil to your hamstrings, and a stretch tie. I have a yoga tie, but you know what? An old necktie, bathrobe tie works just as well. All right, let's quickly warm up our hamstrings and then get right into the stretch session. All right, we're going to do a couple of warm-up drills to get those hamstrings warm and pliable so that we can take it into a deeper stretch. Let's start just with some basic squats. Feet are going to go wide for me, toes turned out. Push your bum rear, come on up. Don't worry, this isn't a workout, as I mentioned. We just need to warm up into the hamstrings a bit. And squat's one of the best ways to do it. Your hamstrings act on both the hip and the knee joint, so that's why a trainer loves a squat. Let's do two more. One more. Excellent. Let's go those feet hip width apart now. Hands light behind the ears, knees soft, push your hips rear, come forward, elbows pulled back, shoulder blades pinched, getting into what we call a good morning exercise. Now, when you take a look in your peripheral vision, you shouldn't see your elbows, so have them pulled back. Don't let your arms push your head forward. We are hip hinging here, so you're feeling that length in the hamstring as you come closer towards the floor, and then push through the heels and drive all the way up to a full stand. Let's do four more. One more. All right, I want you to kick one leg forward, reach it, step it back, other leg. You can have a bend in your knee, totally cool. So we're starting with some hamstring flossing. Yeah, it sounds cool, doesn't it? It is pretty cool. So it's a great way to break up the adhesions in our hamstrings. They can get quite bound. And then we're going to move into some PNF, in which we will lengthen and strengthen at the same time, which is key to keeping the hamstrings long and lengthened. And then into some dynamic and static hamstring stretches that you may be more familiar with. Two more here. One more. All right, so I mentioned that the lacrosse ball is going to be really evil for your hamstring. All that means is it doesn't have as much give as a tennis ball. So tennis ball, if you've got super tight hamstrings. We're starting with the hamstring flossing. I want you to sit with the ball just underneath the bony protrusion of the glute. So just at that top of the insertion of your hamstring. Now place it there, and then I want you to place as much weight as tolerable onto the lacrosse ball. Now here's where we need to really get even more out of this than if we were just to sit here and hold the ball there for pressure point. What we're going to do is contract the quadricep, which is going to lengthen the hamstring and really allow us to get in deep into the adhesions of the hamstring. So I'm leaning forward. That makes it more intense. So leaning back if it's too much for you. Flex the foot, tighten that quad, and extend, hold, and bring it in. We're going to do 6, okay? Extend, hold. So you should see your quadricep muscle popping out in your pants, or if you've got shorts on, and that's showing you are activating that quad. Well, we get deep into the hamstring with this lacrosse ball. One more. All right, so let's roll it down a bit. We've got the exact same thing. So pressure into the ball as much as you feel you can. Lean forward to make it harder. Flex the foot. Press into that ball and extend, tighten the quad. Whoa. I'm actually literally pulling myself down with my hands on the edge of the seat as well to really get deep with my hamstring here in the ball. Woo. And this is a good one. Let's do 2 more. Last one. All right, let's bring it down just a bit more. Same thing, press into the ball, lean forward, flex the foot, press into that ball, Tighten the quad. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Whoa. All right, so now we're going to get more of the medial aspect of this leg's hamstring. This is actually the tighter, this can be a tighter area of the hamstring that can cause low back pain. So let's take it to more of the inner thigh, inside part. Woo, I already feel it. All right, flex the foot and extend. So it might be a different sensation. I'm now can't lean forward. I have to stay upright. This has been an area of mine that I've struggled with because months ago, we're talking months ago, last spring, I kind of irritated my hamstring and glute chasing after my dumb dog, George. So the repercussions are here. All right, let's take it a little lower, but still on the inside part of our leg. Press in. I can lean forward a bit more on this one. Here we go. We got 6. One last time, and again, it's more on the inside, or what we call your medial side. Press in. This is a big trigger point right here for me. You may find it as well. Again, tightening the quad. That's going to give us more release with the hamstring. One more. Whew. Okay, so let's do the other side. So again, you've got that ball situated just below the glute. We start with the center. Press in with your leg, flex the foot, lean forward if you want it harder, tighten that quad, woo, and extend. If it's too much, grab a tennis ball. Don't use a lacrosse ball. If you're using a tennis ball and it's still too much, lean back. 2 more. Tighten that quad. All right, now let's roll this halfway down. Still center of the hamstring. Press into the ball as best you can. Lean forward to make it harder. Flex the foot, tighten the quad. Oh yeah. I haven't done this in a while, and I don't know why I haven't. This really is a fantastic way to release your hamstrings. 1 more. Okay, so let's roll it down a little lower, but never right behind the knee. You never want to do this sort of thing where it's resting right on a joint line. It's got to be more in the belly of your muscle. Press in, flex the foot, ready, contract that quad, and breathe. 1 more. All right, so now we're going to bring it into the medial hamstring. So when I say medial, okay, I'm right here. You're almost going to think, oh my goodness, that's my inner thigh. Nope, medial hamstring. Woo, ready? So do your best and still contracting into that quad. Last one. Great, now still keeping it on the inside part of the hamstring, roll it down halfway. Press in and extend. Last 2. All right, now we're going to get in the money area. Here we go, bring it down lower. And press in. Yeah. Last 2. Woo! All right, that's hamstring flossing. Now let's take it into PNF, and that stands for proprioception neuromuscular facilitation. Just a really fancy way of telling or explaining that we are going to be contracting the muscle while we stretch it. Quite often our hamstrings could have length in them, but they have length only in the length that we have the strength in, if that makes sense. So if we have a fully extended leg and we don't have the strength in that hamstring to have it extended like that, the body's going to think that, oh, there goes my ball. The body's going to think that it's going to be injured and not allow you to have any more length and shorten it to protect itself. So PNF is a way of stretching and strengthening at the same time. We've done it in the series on Ask PG Anything, where I showed it using a stretch tie, and I'm going to attach that video to this one, but we're using a chair. I want you to bring your right heel on top of the chair. So what we're going to do is actively contract both quad and hamstring for about 5 seconds, and then hold a passive stretch for another 5. Go through 4 rotations of that. So I want you to stand up nice and tall and lean forward just so you start to feel a little bit of a pull for the hamstring. So for me, I'm pretty tight. This is where I feel it. All right, now I want you to bend the knee a bit. Now dig your heel into the ground, tighten your quad, tighten your hamstring. So dig your heel in your chair, not the ground, and press in for 5, 4, feel the muscle, 3, quad 2, 1. Now relax it. Come up and see if you can come forward a bit more. You should get a little bit more length. It's so cool how quickly you can gain flexibility on a PNF stretch. So again, we're working on strengthening and stretching at the same time. All right, now let's press in. So we're pressing the heel into your chair, tightening the quad for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, come all the way up for me, and now hip hinge forward. You might get a little further. If you're like me and working an injured leg, so this is my injured side, you might not get it as much as a non-injured side. So, all right, here we go. Press in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on away up. Now come forward. Now, I haven't come a huge distance, but I've definitely come forward. Now, press last time for 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up, move forward, passive stretch, and hold and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew! That, my friend, is a much more effective way of stretching your hamstrings than just yanking on the leg, or worse, here and bouncing your hands to the ground. Here is going to be a safer, more effective stretch. All right, left leg, same thing, softness in the knee. Find where you start to feel it. So I can go a bit deeper with this side. Not a whole heck of a lot deeper, but this is my uninjured leg. All right, now let's push the heel in, tighten the quad for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. And now let's see if we can come forward more. Hold here. All right, soften the knee, dig the heel into the chair, tighten the quad for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Come forward some more. Hang out here. Marinate in this new length for a few breaths. All right, let's press down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up and hang here. Final time, contract the hamstring and quad and go for 5, 4, really pushing that heel in. 3, 2, 1, lift up, forward. Don't know about you, but I got a really nice release. Now remember, this isn't a one-time, one-fix type of routine. Tissue is elastic in nature, so it's going to go back to that shortened position. So it's repeatedly doing these types of movements that you'll gain that flexibility you're looking for. Release. All right, let's get rid of the chair. Grab that strap that I asked you to have. wrap it and loop it around the bottom of your right foot. Left heel close to the bum. Pull the knee in towards the chest. Grab onto each end of your strap. And from here, dynamically kick the leg straight up for 1. We got 6. Knee in and 2. 3. 4. Last 2. And hold here. Now, if your leg starts to shake, you're holding the stretch too hard, and I want you to let it go. Hold it until it doesn't shake. The shaking is your central nervous system telling the body that the stretch is too deep, so it's contracting the hamstring, trying to protect itself. The body's very cool that way. It's always looking at ways to protect you from yourself. So if it's shaking, the muscle's contracting, there's no way, no matter how long we hold it here with a shaking leg, will you ever release that hamstring. So you've got to release it. Now, if it's here and it's been here for a long time, then continue with the PNF and the hamstring flossing I just taught you. Those two will get you more length out of your hamstring than traditional stretches. All right, bend the knee a bit and come more sort of to the outside of the body. You're going to feel this a little bit more at the top of the hamstring. So bent knee. Back of the neck is long. Release the rest of the muscles. Make sure we're not holding tension. A couple of common areas are the shoulders and the face. Just let everything go. All right, let's lift that left foot, place it under the thigh, right foot to the ground. Bring the left knee into the chest. And now let's straighten the leg in and out for 6. Here's 1. Pressing the heel to our ceiling. 2. 3. Aiming for a straight leg. 4. 5. Now number 6, let's hold again, making sure that it's not shaking. Now we can have a very subtle bend in the knee if that's what we like. Just breathing here. Two more breaths. And now let's bend the knee a bit and drive the leg in a little closer, maybe feeling it a little bit more on the top of that left side now. Another thing to note when it comes to tight hamstrings, we need to also take a look at your glute strength. If the glutes are weak, that means the hamstrings are doing up a lot of the work that the glutes should be doing, which is causing those hamstrings of yours to be tight. All right, both legs up now. Let your arms just kind of the elbows drop on the ground if you're able to, and just holding the legs very passively. So on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being at sleep, 10 being I feel my muscle ripping from its insertion, I want you to be at 5. All right, so just let it go until you just have a very, very gentle pull behind the thigh. So if you are one of those people in particular, when you're doing glute bridges and you just feel the hamstrings or the hamstrings cramp while you do a bridge, that is a clear indication that your glutes are weak and you're not recruiting them. So we have a lot of workouts that will help address that, and I'm releasing another one next week too. Or actually, my apologies, this week. So at the end of this week, a really good glute strengthening, glute activation workout. 2 more breaths. And release. Let the legs just extend. Have the legs open, so maybe mat width. Bring the arms down by your side. Palms facing up. Let the toes drop out to the side, the fingertips curl. Just let the ground support you. Just take 3 deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more. Filling the belly, and then exhaling all the air. Last one. Just find a nice, easy breathing pattern. And then bring the arms above the head, stretch it, fingers to toes. Pull the knees into the chest. Rock the knees side to side, gently and slowly. To center, roll onto your left side. Using your arms, press yourself up into a seated position. Finding yourself nice and tall, cross-legged, or maybe sitting back on your heels. Just lift up the chest, ears over the shoulders. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I look forward to reading your comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.